is a big one. When you take owner draws from the company, so this can happen, and people are like, "What? You know, I've taken this money out of the company, but now I owe the company 40-some thousand dollars. Why, why can't I take that money out?" And like I said, this is really a big issue that I see. When you're running a business, you can only take out the profit from the company. That's what a draw is. You're taking the profit. If you don't have a profit and loss statement to see what that profit is, you don't know how much you can take out. And so this happens a lot. And I would bet that some of you might look at your tax returns and you might find that you have a due from shareholder on your tax return because your CPA looked at your distributions and he's like, okay, there wasn't that much money to take out of the company, and they recode it as due from shareholders. And I saw that early on when I started doing this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And if you think about it, you're like, well, I have all this money in my bank account, but it might be that the JV partners have been giving you money. And so you're like, well, it seems like I have a lot of money to take out of the company, but
Yeah.
You really don't. So this is a big one. And this hits every part of bookkeeping. Income, expenses, assets, liabilities, all of that factored right into this, this example. So now that's one task, is check out your tax returns and see if you see any of that. So this is one of those questions I get a lot that I just mentioned. Can you help me figure out the gain or loss on this property? And so I sat down with.
Sure, if you're having a hard time seeing it all, just let me know. Is there a way, Debbie, you can make it a little bit bigger? Is there a view? I see a view in the top left corner. Is there a way you can make it a bigger screen?
Does that help at all?
I think so. Nathan, but how's it look to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that a little bit better. It's just the writing is a little small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you keep if you keep in that scroll, keep making it bigger, which is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And some of those print screens are things we could get into the nitty gritty about as examples. But they're also kind of there just to, like, this is maybe what it would actually look like in your books versus a spreadsheet. So the first thing with trying to figure out your gain and your loss is you will have no idea what that truly is unless you know your books. Everything else in your books are done and correct, right? Because we can't be missing anything to figure that out. And so this gentleman used the spreadsheet, and we were going through things and breaking things out and trying to mirror what would happen in bookkeeping. And he had a JV partner on this, and it was a note. This was a note example. And he thought he had made $5,500 on it after he had paid the JV partner, right? So he thought he had made 55, but there were some pretty good expenses in there that weren't captured, and technically he lost $21,000.
Oh, ouch.
And he had already paid out the JV partner before doing this exercise and actually knowing that it was correct.
Oh boy.
And it really got paid out just because they got the check from the title company, wrote the check, and didn't really had not figured out the correct gain, which was actually a loss.
Whoops.
Yeah, because sometimes these things, you have these notes for a while and things get forgotten, right? Like because they're on a spreadsheet, or so if you have your books, you're going to have a whole history of everything that happens is going to be in your books. But this one was pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he split that profit, right? Well, I'm going to pay my JV partner X dollar based on the returns.
Yeah.
He just actually lost more money than he should have because he paid his JV partner.
Yes, because he wrote a large check to the JV partner. Yeah.
We did have a comment from Marty. Nathan, did you see that comment?
I did, yeah, and that was a good point. Marty's saying what people don't know is if you have an S, or if you have a corporation S or C, and you take more money than you have basis in your company, it's actually taxable to you personally. So it's like that's a double whammy. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure you're doing that
I
correctly.
didn't, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that because it could become.
Thank you, Marty. Appreciate it. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, could become income for you. And mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had just done that particular Zoom with my clients that I do the books with. And even after working with people for years and years and doing their books, and I'm always putting notes on there like, you know, hey, the profit was this and you're taking this much, but just not zooming in on it, right? And so that was even just really helpful for them, you know, like I said, even after doing their books for years and years.